Welcome to our garden here in Constance Bay, Ottawa, Ontario, zone 4B, 5A. It's June 27th and it's about 19 degrees right now. We've lived here for about 6 years now. As you can see, we're trying to do a tropical theme to our backyard. Here's a rescued Dracanea that can't handle the full sun, so by the back door. Over here is my Trachycarpus Fortunei, my oldest one, Chinese windmill palm. Planted in the ground. It's third summer in the ground. You can see it's doing very well, super healthy. And moving over here, I have my bird of paradise garden. So I have two types of bird of paradise. I have the giant white bird of paradise, which is the Strelitzia nicholai. And over there I have the Strelitzia Weigela. That's the orange bird of paradise. So the tall ones, or the tall one, and the one beside it here, they are the white bird of paradise. Also have a lot of hostas and ostrich ferns growing in this garden. So it kind of looks like a little jungle garden. That's the way I want it to look. Over here, we've got my Musa Basjoo, or hardy banana trees, and they've been in the ground 2 or 3 years now. I've got another one over here, but this one comes in for the winter, and so it's struggling a little bit more just from being transplanted, but it's doing fine now. It's adjusted now to the backyard. Coming back into the backyard, again there's my bird of paradise gardens from another view, and Musa Basjoos, and that's our dog who I guess wants to be filmed. So heading over to the corner here, we've got a potted plant. It's a type of Dracanea. Not really sure which type, but it's again, it's potted. You can see the pot there. So generally what I do is I dig a hole and put the pot in the hole so we can grab nutrients from the soil as well. Here's a Mexican fan palm, or Washingtonia Robusta, and it's been in the ground for 3-4 years. Here I have Adam's needle, which receives no winter protection at all. It's very hardy. They stand our winters here. Moving along, got a couple of little pineapple plants in pots. They come in for the winter. And another Washingtonia Robusta, or Mexican fan palm, and a little Trachycarpus Fortunei beside it. You can see this Trachycarpus had a bit of trouble during the winter, but easily handled it. Another pineapple plant, and this is the baby of the previous Dracanea, so that's also in a pot in the ground. Moving along here, this is where I have my kind of nursery of growing little young palms. So these young palms will either be sold or some of them will be planted in my garden as well. So I have Washingtonia Robustas and some Mediterranean fan palms, as well as a couple of Canary Island date palms. You can see one here. I need to weed it, but that one will be planted in the garden, or this one. I've got two that are definitely Canary Island date palms. They'll probably go in that garden over there. You can just see a bit. So then coming out down to the beach, see, we have a beautiful beach here in Constance Bay. This is our other garden. We do mostly just daylilies and hibiscus. And then we've got petunias. My wife does petunias along the edge. They haven't really grown yet this year. You can see the hibiscus is really doing well. It's again in a pot, buried in the ground. Here you have some of my tikis. I carved tikis just to add to the tropical atmosphere of the garden. At the present time, the beach is a little bit smaller than normal. Normally the water at this time of year is quite a bit further out, but we've had lots of rain recently, and so the water's up. A few more of my tikis, and coming back up into the yard. So as we come back into the yard, you'll be able to see a couple of other tikis that I did. These are copied off a tiki that a friend of mine bought in Tonga while he was in the Navy in 1954. And here's our other little corner garden. See, I've got some hibiscus and a couple of Majesty palms tucked in there. I'm not sure what this little tree is called, but we call it the Dr. Zeus tree. It was a gift from one of our wonderful neighbors. Over here we have a quick view of our newest addition to the garden, which is our pergola, timber frame pergola made from 8x8 pines, and then a couple of potted Majesty palms just accentuate the entrance to the pergola. And then over here we have another Washingtonia, Robusta, and Trachycarpus Fortunei. They've spent 2 winters in the ground. Moving along to basically the end of our garden, we have some bamboo that was planted last year and survived the winter without any protection at all. So every year they should grow 2 more feet in height. And just outside the gate, we've got little Musa Basjoo and some alligator grass. The last little growing area we have in our backyard is up on our balcony, and we've got some tangerine and lemon trees. They're young, about a year old. And then my wife grows some herbs and spices over here. So here's a view of our backyard. It's the morning after, actually, of the last video. You can see the beautiful river with the Gatineau Hills in the background, pergola, and here's a shot of my Pygmy date palm, my Trachycarpus Fortunei, which we saw yesterday. So we'll just give you an overview of the whole backyard. So there's the bird of paradise garden, and the ferns and the hostas, Musa Basjoo. There's our corner garden, which is where I planted my first palm tree in the ground. Again, the river, the Gatineau Hills. It's a beautiful spot here in Constance Bay. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tour of our backyard garden here in Constance Bay, Ottawa, Ontario.